What is going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another video. Please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops for a video drops. Appreciate you all coming back. Just some channel updates, of course, relating to the New York Giants. Monday, March 6th, we got Football Grump coming on. Obviously, he does some New York Giants content with the Cranky Fan on the Just Giants podcast. We got him coming on for the Boys in the Bay Apple podcast, and well, we're going to be talking draft prospects and also the New York Giants with Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones related stuff. And then March 11th, we're going to have Entertainer, we're going to have Diggy, and maybe another guy on for a Giants offseason stream to talk about some topics relating to the New York Giants. So all fun and games here. We're trying to get to 1K, so please share out, like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff. So we're going to talk about position today, free agency-wise, that the New York Giants need very badly. They haven't had one of these in a while. I mean, you did have a guy in Blake Martinez, but if you ask me, I think this is the first best pressing need on the New York Giants. Now, I can't say best, but this is the most pressing need on the New York Giants because, you know, there are times we saw some wide receiver production last year. Isaiah Hodgins had a game or two, well, more than that, you know, in the second half of the season. Richie James had a couple of nice games. Sterling Shepard was very good on the field. And all these different guys, and I'm not trying to pout them up and just say, you know, oh, they're good or whatever. No, I'm not trying to say that. But the Giants' run defense was bad last year. It was very bad. And they did not assess the linebacker position very well. Now, I get it. You know, they were in a position to cut Blake Martinez and all this sort of stuff, whatever. But they could have at least drafted a Mike. They could have done something along those lines. I know it's revisionist history. But I think this free agency, this period, this year, I think is a time to go out and assess that Mike linebacker need. You look at the draft, right? I only see maybe one or two Mike linebackers in my personal opinion. Now, a lot of these different cats out here, I'm not criticizing them. I'm just telling you, what they think. They love all these speedy linebackers, the Ivan Paces of the world and the Drew Sanders. That's fine. Listen, I'm not against either of those guys. Do I particularly like them for the Giants' needs? Yes and no. But I also like guys that deconstruct blocks and play the run well on a consistent basis. That's why we did a little segment in terms of prospect of the week for Jack Campbell. I happen to like Jack Campbell. I think he's the most fit to be a Mike linebacker in this class. I'm not really high on Trenton Simpson. And then there's a lot of other guys who are just meh. They're more of the covered linebackers and, the secondary linebackers, the will linebackers. But I know that, Saquon Barkley, if he gets extended, is going to cut into the cap. Same thing with Daniel Jones. And maybe they, extend Dexter Lawrence, all these different things, whatever. But, again, this is the class to assess. And I think the Giants need to pick a direction overall. Is it going to be you draft a Jack Campbell in the second round or Drew Sanders, and you hope they're the Mike, so you develop them a year or two in, and then boom, 2 years, 3 years down the road, they're like very good Mike linebackers, or the best, or maybe they're not good, who knows? Or you get a Mike linebacker this year, hope that at least, fill that spot for a few years, and I'm talking in terms of free agency, and then boom, down the line, maybe you could just hope you develop another guy into a Mike linebacker. But I think this need has to be assessed this year. It has to be assessed this year, this free agent period. You have to find some way to go out and get a Mike linebacker. And the Giants are not going to have a number one wide receiver on this roster. I'm just going to explain that to you guys right now. I mean, we'll talk about wide receivers in the future, but Jordan Addison, is he a Marvin Harrison type? Zay Flowers, they're nice guys. Listen, I would like them at 25, and if they fell to the second round, but let's be honest, it's a need that's going to take longer than a year to fix. And the thing is as well, I've seen a lot of these different things. Oh, Darian Beavers, right? He could be a very good linebacker. Yeah, they're very good, very, very well, could be. Problem is, he's coming off an ACL, and Blake Martinez didn't look the best off an ACL. All these different guys, they don't look best off ACLs, and this is a young player, so, he still has to experience some of the things, some of the struggles at the NFL level. We didn't get to see him play extended snaps against legit competition, right? Patriots didn't put out their A squad when they faced us. The Bengals, they didn't put out their A squad, so there is that. But anyway, let's cut to the chase here. Three linebackers the New York Giants should look into. And number one is Tremaine Edmonds. He is my favorite. I've been calling for his name since October. Spot Track lists him as $11 million annual value. I think it's going to be more than that. I believe the linebacker franchise tag is 18 mil. I don't know that anybody's been tagged yet under that number. But with that being said, just some stats for Tremaine Edmonds. For the Bills last year, he played 92% of the defensive snaps, 13 games, a total of a sack, 102 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback hits to go along with 3 pressures as well. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, and he also had an interception last year as well. And 7 pass deflections, so there's that. In coverage, 65% completion percentage allowed, a 69.9 passer rating, which is the lowest of his career, and then 7.6 yards per completion, 4.9 yards per target, 296 yards allowed in coverage. And I'm just going to say this, as far as these Mike linebackers go, I'm not concerned with them covering tight ends because hopefully the Giants don't put their Mike linebackers in a position to cover tight ends. I would rather have them given the responsibility of stopping the run rather than covering. You know, we got McKinney, we got Belton, we got Micah McFadden, who's decent at covering running backs and different tight ends. Well, I mean, obviously, other than Hawkinson that one game, but I just don't feel it's the Mike's responsibility. Maybe I'm wrong. But Tremaine Edmonds, he's going to be one of the most expensive out there. He, I think, definitely can be a Mike for us. Obviously, he's got that Buffalo connection, which is something that I've been really clinging on to since October, November, because the Giants' run defense wasn't getting better. Jalen Smith, all these different guys that we had running through the rotation. It's just a mess. So Edmonds, I gave you all the stats and all that sort of stuff. Not really concerned with the coverage stuff, but the one thing that is concerning is how much he will ask for in free agency. The Bills aren't tagging him. They will let him test the market. You know what? The Giants should go ahead and sweep his ass up. And, there's people saying, oh, well, he only has 6.5 sacks in his career. I don't care. We have other linebackers. We have other different players to get sacks. And he's 24 years old, so he is still young. Obviously, a first-round pick out of Virginia Tech. I don't think he's on the bust level. I mean, he is a 2-time Pro Bowler, as mentioned. But to be fair, it's just going to be on the level of the Bills not being able to re-sign him. I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in terms of cap space this offseason. So the next one is T.J. Edwards, the former Philadelphia Eagle, at least at this point in his career. Real quick, I just want to look up if he is a Pro Bowler or was ever selected to the Pro Bowl. That would be a no, but he's played very good linebacker at least the last 2 years. And I remember in 2020, people were just shitting on the Eagles linebacker core. And I'm like, you know what? This guy, T.J. Edwards, he's actually pretty solid at his job. So 2019, he actually was an undrafted free agent out of Wisconsin. So believe it or not, he played with Ryan Connolly. With that being said, however, 2022 was his best season. Also, I forgot to mention with Edmonds, 100 tackles every year in the league, 100 tackles or more. But with Edwards, 159 tackles this year, 2 sacks, 7 pass deflections, 17 games played. So the reliability, the durability is there. Total of 10 tackles for loss, 5 quarterback hits, and total of 9 quarterback pressures. So there is that. In terms of coverage, he's had, better years in coverage. But as I said, I'm going to read it. I'm not really relying off of it because I don't think it's a Mike's responsibility. 69.7 completion percentage allowed in coverage, 400 yards, no touchdowns, 82.1 passer rating, 7.5 yards per completion, 5.3 per target. So as far as TJ Edwards goes, he's number 2 on my list. Obviously, that defense is changing a little bit. I don't think they'll have the money to re-sign James Bradbury. Jonathan Gannon is gone. Sean Desai is now the defensive coordinator, so I don't know what scheme he's going to run over there. Played defense for 94% of the defensive snaps. If you like Pro Football Focus, well, he graded out as the 6th best linebacker in 2022, one spot below Tremaine Edmonds. But once again, the price tag around $11 million, are the Giants really going to be into that? I think they should take a chance on one of these 2 guys. I mean, obviously, there's going to be an option that I give next. But for right now, these are my top 2 guys. And, In coverage, obviously, he was a little exposed in the Super Bowl against Kelsey and all these different guys. But once again, I'm just not concerned about the coverage ability. I'm not. I'm concerned about guys disengaging from blocks and stopping the fucking run. That's it. Next guy, David Long from the Titans, and I've only looked into him recently because, I was considering Okereke, but I'm like, you know what? This guy is, he just looks like a guy playing for a contract. Same thing with Jermaine Pratt. No Pro Bowls for Mr. Long, obviously out of West Virginia as a 6th-round pick from the Titans in 2019. And we'll see if the Titans are able to retain him. Obviously, they signed him to a contract. Obviously, he is expected to be most cheaper than others. But just to look into him, the reliability is a little strange, though. 14 games in 2019, 14 games in 20, 10 games in 21, 12 games in 22. So he's never played a full season, which is a little strange and a little worrying, too, because the Giants have durability issues. However, you look at tackles, it doesn't really throw you off the page, though he did share a role in that linebacking core with Sean Evans. 86 total tackles, 3 quarterback hits, 7 tackles for a loss. Also 2 interceptions on the season, 5 pass deflections. You look at his coverage stats, gave up no touchdowns, 74.1 passer rating, 73.6 completion percentage allowed, 336 yards, 6 pressures on the quarterback, also 8.6 yards per completion, and 6.3 yards per target. So just trying to find some stuff a little bit more on David Long. He had a pass rush win rate, that's always a tongue twister for me, 19.8, and a pressure rate of 23.8, which off-ball linebackers, that actually ranks one of the best. So Wink Martindale, if you're looking for a guy who could potentially be a Mike, but also could be a very good blitzer, there's your guy. And he also had, according to Pro Football Focus, again, 4th best run defense grade. So a lot of people are expecting him to command just $5 million per year, but I kind of think in this situation, you know what you're getting, and you have to expect to know what you get in this situation. Like, Long is not going to play as good as Edwards and Edmonds. They cost more, and you'll get, obviously, better play out of them. It depends what you want. It really does. David Long is 26 years old, so he's a little bit older than Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards, even though he was selected in the same draft class as Edwards. Edmonds was just a year before them. So I'm not opposed to Long. I would just rather Edwards and a guy like Tremaine Edmonds. I believe both run defenses were at least solid last year. I don't know about Tennessee. But anyway, Edmonds, Edwards, Long. If you guys like Pratt, if you guys like Bobby Okereke, all these different guys that are in the free agent market, let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications so you know when live stream pops for your drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool. Let's go, Big Blue.